seen Scream 6 by now. This is the Carpenter sisters going to New York, Ghostface in New York, bringing back a lot of the classic Scream characters from all pretty. I don't know if it was all 5 of the previous films that were represented, but it was darn close if it wasn't. The sarcastic one in my head goes, "Oh, it's Scream in New York. It's Ghostface in New York. Ha ha ha." But something about it kind of worked. Like I loved all of the kill scenes in this film. I gave it a 72 out of 100, which looking at this, I think I probably would have it higher now if I was regrading this film now. Like this, you like for example, you were saying that some of these films on your list you kind of went down a little bit in score. I'm kind of thinking that this 72 out of 100 score that I have for 3.5 stars, I think it's probably a little bit higher now, and I only saw it the one time, but this is a film that's resting better in my mind than right after I saw it, right after I did the score for it. I gave it, interestingly, I gave it a 2 out of 10 on surprises because the spoilers in this film were pretty predictable. Like it wasn't one, and because Scream is such a cinephile type film and it's so self-aware of what it is, then it kind of has to play into the tropes to play out of the tropes, and it kind of has to wink and nod at the camera while still trying to keep things surprising, which is not an easy thing to do as filmmaking wise. But other than the 2 out of 10 on the surprises, I really like this one across the board. What do you think of Scream 6?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's you definitely have to suspend your disbelief for what people can survive. But
Yeah,
uh, but I really enjoyed it. It's fun. I love these characters, and I love this series. Scream, the first one, is one of my favorite movies, but it's my favorite horror movie. Same with the franchise. The franchise is one of my favorite franchises, and probably my favorite horror franchise. And I just enjoyed this one so much. Yeah.
yeah, and it's so well done. And I'm not much of a horror fan in general. Like if a really good one comes along, I'll watch it. But horror is not a genre that I watch particularly a lot of. But I do remember watching the original Scream when I was working at a movie theater in high school. Because I'm old. But I do love the attention to detail and the respect that Scream has for movie fans, and not just casual movie fans, but fans that love going to watch movies, rewatching movies, watching movies at home. The fact that the Scream franchise values their fans, it values movie fans so much, I
Yeah.
think is part of the reason why I love this series as much as I do. What did you think of the New York location setting for Scream 6?
So I really liked it. But at the same time, I'm in the middle here, and especially because in our Scream stream on the Cinema Squad, we talked about this, like what we thought of the New York City thing, and I was definitely in the middle, where I think they could have done a little more, but they did do a good amount. A high rise apartment, subway, the bodega. Um, I know those three things they're in other they're in other cities. In the alleyway in the beginning with Samara weaving, I know they're in other cities, but a lot of them just feel New York. So I liked it. I thought especially though with the marketing, because they marketed the heck out of New York City in the marketing, and I loved the marketing. I thought they did a really good job with the promotion, but I think they could have done even more with all that promotion for New York City.
This is a film
To
though that wasn't shot in New York.
Yeah,
After all
I
that,
didn't actually. I wish they did. They should have. They should, and they should do the next one in New York City if they want to.
yeah, because
But yeah,
normally you can really tell when something is shot like Toronto for New York or Montreal for New York. But this one they did a really good job of matching for New York. What was your favorite part of Scream 6?
ooh, so I love the opening. Uh, I the opening was so smart and different. When I don't want to spoil things, but you know what happens in the opening. It just was so different than what we've seen in Scream series before. I was like, "What's going on?" And then they keep going on with the scene, and I really liked it. So I really love the opening, and I just love so much, even though they're very unbelievable. So much of the action scenes. The latter scene was pretty good. The bodega scene, was really suspenseful, and I love the subway scene and how they did that, and all the Easter eggs to different horror movies in the subway scene. Yeah, those are a bunch of my favorite parts. Um, and I don't mind the reveals, but I wasn't like shocked by them, like you kind of said. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a lot like you. I love that opening scene, how it called back to the original film, but kind of twisted it, from the original film. It was, paid homage to the Drew Barrymore death by having Samara Weaving and by having Tony Revelori. Um, do you like how they use Ghostface as a different character? It's Ghostface, but it's a different Ghostface in every film. Do you like the rotating cast of characters playing Ghostface, and do you find it believable that when they're playing Ghostface, Ghostface is Ghostface, even if it's completely different people, but they're still Ghostface?
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. I do like that it's different, but yeah, it's a little weird with like because they'll refer to him as if he's always been, this the entity. He's like Michael or Freddy, and yeah, so I definitely get what you're saying. But I've liked it. I like that it gives it more mystery. You never know who it's gonna be. But yeah, no, I definitely liked that aspect.
That is, you bring up an interesting point because it's not a supernatural horror film
Yeah,
where like Smile. Like Smile is one where the smile, whatever the name of the smile spirit is, infects people.
yeah,
Ghostface isn't infecting people. It's a mask that people are putting on and the voice that they're taking on. So it's kind of weird in that regard where it's not someone being taken over by the spirit of a killer. It's people using the visage of Ghostface in order to kill people,
yeah,
which is a really interesting thing. The scene with Ghostface talking with Gale.
yeah.
Did you like that scene? And did you like the interesting thing is I love the fact that they pointed out that Gale had never talked to Ghostface before.
Yeah. Um,
Did you like that scene? Like, what did you think about that scene?
I liked a lot of the scene. I just don't believe that Gail would have got out of that closet that quickly. To go check things out. She's been through this for 30 years almost. Um, and I just don't think she would have got. She was safe in that closet. There was one entrance. If he came in, she could have shot him. Or her. Who knows? It was a her. But, yeah. But I liked a lot of that scene. But yeah, even me, like I was like, oh, he never talked to her before. Oh yeah, I guess that's right. So it's like,
Gale has this very big, strong, muscular boyfriend guy, and granted, she has plot armor saving her life, but the boyfriend getting killed that quickly.
yeah, and then by who we find out did it.
Yeah,
um, yeah, definitely. And there's a few instances throughout the Scream series that's like, how could that person have done that? Why does Ghostface always look like he's a 6.5, 6 foot 5 inches male when he's in the costume, but you find out that it might not be that.
yeah, yeah, and there's a certain power to being in the having the knife and being in the costume. I get that, but
Yeah,
yeah, when you think of the practicality of the matter, if yeah, the stunt person probably is some guy who's 6'5" and 230
yeah.
40 pounds on muscle, even if the character is technically
And then yeah, not even killing him, but throwing him through that glass like bookshelf thing.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I really love this film as well. I think yeah, you gave Scream Six a 4 out of 5. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. Very very similar range in our scoring. Are you looking forward to future Scream films?
yeah, I'll always look forward to them. Like fifth and sixth were like Avengers Infinity War level hype for me because I just love this series so much.
And what did you think of Sydney not being in this film?
Um, I wish she was. It's more for my OCD. It's like now she's not in every film, so even if she's in every one, even if she's in every other one from now on, she's not in this one. But it would have been too packed, I think, with her
Yeah, and
in.
I
Yeah,
agree with you 100%. You know, the only reason she wasn't in this movie was because of money,
yeah,
and they were doing a really quick turnaround because this is a film that came out less than 2 years ago. You know, came out
quick,
last year. It came
quick
out,
one.
yeah, 2022 or
Yeah,
yeah. So I really like this film, and I actually think it
Mm,
was in some ways it was kind of better without her because
yeah. I hate to say that. I love her. She's my favorite final girl. But yeah, no, it just wouldn't have worked. I don't know where she would have fit in.
yeah, and the logic of it, you know, if they having Ghostface in New York, it's a great tagline. But yeah, at a certain point, like she's a wife, she's a mom of a really young kid. Like, is it? Are we just supposed to expect that she's supposed to go, "Hey, honey, watch the kids. I'm gonna go kill Ghostface again."
Yeah.
He's gonna get on a flight. Did you pack your own bags? Yes. What are you doing in New York? I'm going to kill Ghostface. Um, it this one I think that it made sense the way they did it without her, which is sad to
Yeah.
say, but
Even
she went away so that she can come back.
yeah, almost it's like even Courtney Cox could have been out of this film in some ways. It makes more sense though with her because Gale's in New York City, so Gale's there, and I know they wanted at least one legacy character. And I know they had Kirby as well, which
And
I really liked Hayden.
do you think that when Gale goes through her attack scene, that they decided whether or not she was going to live or die when they filmed it, or did they shoot it both ways? And we don't find out whether Gale survives until the end of the film because the filmmakers were trying to decide whether she was going to live.
That's a good point. I think there's definitely a script at least that was she was gonna die and I think that she should have because then Dewey dies last one, she dies this one, and then maybe the next one. That's why Sydney comes back because um I actually had an idea where Ghostface doesn't reveal himself in this one, this Ghostface, and then Sydney comes back to fight, and that's the final scream or something like that. So that's a reason Sydney comes back because he killed Gale. But then they just throw a line at the end that she's okay. She had a weak pulse in that scene. They said that, but yeah, I get what you're saying. That'd be interesting. I think they definitely thought about killing her.
I'm torn as to whether they should or shouldn't have. I think it was the safe decision to keep her around because
Yeah,
if unless you know for sure that her death is going to be some really truly meaningful thing to the story, I think it's probably a good thing they did not.
yeah, yeah.
What did you think about Skeet Ulrich? This he's showing up as a vision, as a distraction, as a mental health thing for
So
for Sam.
so
What did
it's
you think of
weird
it?
because I'm torn because I love seeing Skeet Ulrich again because I like seeing returning characters. So it's cool to see Billy again in the fifth one, and then they brought it back again in this one, and I like it, and I love Sam's character, how she's struggling with that. So I do like it in that aspect, but I think that they maybe could stop doing it. I don't know. It does seem a little weird, but I think for the most part it's been working for me.
And the only other one was do you think that this eventually is going to lead to Sam being the a ghost face in Scream 7 or Scream 8?
No, I don't know about a ghost face. I think I like to think she's gonna use this garnered a lot of laughs on the Scream stream, but her killing for I don't want to say for good, but like Dexter, how he kills bad guys. He kills bad guys, so she kind of just in self defense just keeps killing any Ghostface that comes near her, like she's been doing.
Yeah,
So I don't think she's gonna become Ghostface. I don't know. I wouldn't like it. I don't think.
that is an interesting idea. Sam as Dexter, as the serial killer who kills serial killers.